Our team has been off the trail for several weeks now due to illness, but this weekend I just had to get on the trail. Any type of trail. So with my daughter in tow, I picked the kid-friendly hike back in the Great Smoky Mountains to enjoy the remarkable fall colors and the magical Smoky Mountain woods. Off to Gatlinburg we rolled to tackle the Twin Creek Trail in search of the famed ferry house before finally exploring the Ogle homestead to complete a simple yet much needed hike in the healing woods of the Great Smoky Mountains. Come on along. Hello everybody. As you can see, we are in the Smokys. And as the sign said, we're doing the Twin Creeks Trail. Ian and his wife are dealing with a lot of illness right now, especially his wife. So we have been off the trail for quite some time now. We were hoping to be reunited to do our typical hike today, but that didn't happen. His wife is still very ill. So I'm out with my camera shy kiddo back there to do just a simple little hike here in the Smokys. And look at that. That streams down there. And we're in the Smoky Mountains. I think I said that. It's a simple little trail. Supposed to be some historic home sites out here, and if I can get this camera to work, the infamous or famous, however you want to look at it, ferry house is out here. We're going to try to find that. So yeah, stick around. And I don't know if you can see houses over there. We are right on the outskirts of Gatlinburg itself, because there's still some homes. That's how close we are to Gatlinburg. So, yeah, be back. Yeah, I was a bit bummed not to be on the hike I planned, but I was still on a trail, and I was sharing it with my younger daughter, so it was still going to be a good day. Sweet. Painted Ridge Trail. Be alert and stay on trail. Burned area. Yeah, wildfires from a few years ago roared through this area. Bears are active in this area. Dum dum dum, bears. Let's go. Would we see bears? Well, I'd heard bears were active around this area, so maybe. The scenery was certainly beautiful. Tree on the trail. It certainly was a gorgeous morning. The trail was already a typical scenic Smoky Mountain pathway. Even these small trails are just stunning. Yeah, don't bump ahead. Okay. So far, just a pleasant little walk in the woods. We're close to the road, so you can hear traffic. You could probably hear the traffic, that's how close it is. Pretty colors. Yes, even this late in the fall color season, the trees remain full of color. I just love fall hiking. I don't like the shorter days, but I do love nature splashing the world in color. Short trail, basically 2 miles out, 2 back. The place we're ultimately going to was the estate of, I think it was Louis Voorhees. And when I first saw that last name Voorhees, the first thing I thought of was the Jason movies. Wasn't that his last name? Voorhees, Jason Voorhees. I think so. But that was the first thing that popped in my head when I read that his estate used to be out here, and the ferry house was part of it. And there should be some other ruins of the home and stuff out there, because I guess he was like a famous person out here, or a wealthy person. Back in the day, before the creation of the park, you got it, need a hand. And a lot of the ruins of his estate, including the ferry house, is still out here. So, that's basically what we're out here to see. Can't wait till Ian's wife is better. So that he can return. I know it's been like 3 weeks or so since we've been on the trail. My kiddo here and I shot a video last week at the Fort Loudon State Historical Park. And I haven't worked on that video yet. One, Okay, so when we purchased the drone, invested in the drone, I was unaware of just how regulated the whole drone thing is. So anyways, I was trying to get a drone shot when we were at that state park last week. I was stopped by the park ranger. She was cool with everything. I mean, she wasn't a jerk or anything about it, but I was informed that drones are forbidden in all state parks and most federal parks, including the Smoky Mountains. Which I didn't know, because I've seen lots of people on YouTube with drone shots that they made in several of the state parks here in Tennessee, as well as here in the Smokys, and we've shot tons of stuff in other state parks, and we shot a couple here in the Smokys. No one ever said a word to us then. So, I mean, that was the first time we were told, you know, about the restrictions on flying a drone. So, you know, after I got home, I went on, you know, did a Google research thing, which I should have done from the get-go, and seen just how regulated the whole drone thing is, and there's so few places where I can actually fly it. Bottom line, there's going to be a lot less, you know, drone shots in our videos. Because, you know, I am one for following regulations. And when we do pick a trail, I'm also going to research whether flying a drone is legal in that area. So, you know, before we go out there. So, based on that is whether you know, we will have drone shots. So, yeah, it's going to be far fewer drone shots in future videos. And now that I'm aware of just how restrictive they are in certain places that we love to hike in. So, and I have rambled on long enough. I'm going to get off here for now and be back. Oh, didn't hear you back there. It took a little searching, but we were on the path for the ferry house. Careful, got some piping and stuff here. Okay. We are on approach to the ferry house. And go that way, kid. Ah, and there it is. Gotcha. Got it? Oh, it's just dark. It is not on the trail. You have to go off trail to get to it. Basically what it is a spring house. It's right over this creek. It did feel a bit magical as we approached, with the leaves falling and the brilliant fall color. I could see how this was nicknamed the Ferry House. It's behind the resource center. There's a little side trail. You have to walk on the road for a little bit. there it is. Famous ferry house. Sweet. Oh no. This still has the water running through it. Check out the old ladder, kiddo. You don't have to climb up here. I just want to pop up here a second. Oh, so it's actually the source of this stream, and they just closed it in. So it bubbles up and comes right inside that spring house. There's the resource center and some kind of life center or something like that. And it's behind there. Okay, I'm gonna do some pictures, be back. The ferry house was originally part of the Voorhees estate, built by Louis Voorhees as a mountain retreat. He began developing the area in 1928, wanting to create a getaway for people trying to escape crowds. Voorhees eventually dedicated the property to the Park Service in 1933. Okay, there's this little Discover Life in America place. Ferry house is behind it. You actually have to get off Twin Creeks Trail. Do what? Oh yeah, yeah, it's right behind there. Yeah, super easy to find. Just turn that orange cone, turn right, follow that little pathway. Can't miss it. Yeah. Okay. So, you follow this little road. You go off the Twin Creeks Trail, pick up this little road to that place. And there's a little path behind that building. And you're right there. Now it said in the history little thing that I read that there was 13 structures in that guy's estate. Pretty well off from what the little history thing said that I read. But I don't see where the rest of that stuff is. "13 structures." You'd think there'd be some evidence of other stuff, and I don't know what this is. Oh. Okay. This ain't nothing. Now this rock wall that's right here is apparently part of the estate. That the road follows. And that is something up there, and I don't know what that is. But we're going the wrong way. We need to be on the other side of that wall. So we'll be back. Yeah, even zoomed in, I can't get them. Okay. There's a couple of bears up there. I tried to get the GoPro zoom, and it's not good enough. And I don't have a regular camera. All I got is my phone. They're just chilling over there across the road. Sitting behind that tree way up there. Okay, moving on. I couldn't help but pause to enjoy the many spots like this along the way. Such serene beauty certainly helps ease the stresses of life. Yes, the forest is my drug. I have no need for anything else. Getting close to the, I think it's the Bud Ogle cabin. Which is pretty much the end point on this trail. There's a nature path that goes behind the cabin. We're in that whole homestead area around the cabin. It just loops around and comes back on this and goes back to the trailhead. You definitely have the sounds of the creek off to the right to keep you company, but unfortunately to the left is also the road. Which, if you follow that road far enough, it'll also take you to the cabin. But that's cheating. In fact, I see a bunch of cars stopped over there, so that's probably the parking lot for the cabin. So, looks like we're almost there. The trail is pretty well, no big deal. There are some roots and some rocks. There was one stream crossing back there that we had to rock hop over. Can you get it, kid? He's probably way on the bottom. Somebody back there is thirsty. I'm just coming up to look at the stream. It's quite pretty. Okay, trail update. Be back. Huh. There's an old rock wall back there. Not a very long one. So pretty. Okay. Yep, still in the bush. Be back. Okay, so getting ready to come up on the cabin. It's just over here. It's a pretty trail, very scenic. I just wish
it wasn't so close to the road and all that traffic was buzzing up and down it. If you're just looking for a little trounce in the woods, nothing hard, and just wanting to see some historical things, there's the cabin. That's what I recommend this trail. If you're looking for a deep commune with the woods, to get out into the forest, yeah, this ain't it. The colors in the trees really make it that much more pretty.
Despite the proximity to the nearby road, the trail's beauty wasn't curtailed. The Smokies seem to have the magic of being stunning no matter what part you're in.
Now, I featured this cabin in an earlier video, one of my solo hikes. So, y'all are all going to recognize it if you've seen that video. Oh, gotta do some more rock hopping. Got it. This one's an easy one. Oh, you got it, man. You got it under control. Here we are. And there's going to be people everywhere. Because you could park. The parking lot's right over there. Where you can cheat and just drive to it instead of hiking to it.
The Bud Ogle place was built by farmer Noah Bud Ogle in the late 1880s to early 1890s and is the typical Appalachian northern farm, which originally covered 400 acres. It consisted of a large apple orchard growing several types of apples as well as corn. The homestead was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1977, and the National Park Service restores and maintains these historic structures so visitors can see what life was like for the pioneers.
Oh, fireplace. Back porch. Now, I like how they put the fireplace at the center to heat both the rooms of the cabin. Imagine one side was the living quarters and the other side was where they cooked all their meals. I'm guessing. I don't know.
What is this?
Huh?
What is Parking lot.
Yeah, parking lot's over there.
In fact,
Okay, I'm gonna switch cameras. Be back. Okay. Switch cameras. Coming out to the barn.
The barn is a once common 4-pen barn, popular during this time and in this region. But Ogle's barn is the last remaining 4-pen barn in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
Stables. Imagine that's where the hay went. The hay bales. The food troughs right there. Pretty nifty. Okay, be back. So, on our way back, we're pretty much back, almost to the trailhead. It's an out and back trail, so we already covered this. There's nothing really to. Here, let me get you out of the sunlight. Okay, that's probably better. Okay. Simple trail. There are a couple of little spots. You gotta watch your footing. No biggie at all. Hardly any elevation gain. Wasn't as many like ruins or whatever to see outside of the ferry house. That was cool. I wish I could have found more of the stuff. I mean, as long as it's been, I doubt there's anything left of whatever else was out here. Aside from the Bud Ogle cabin. So, this is really going to be a short video. Hopefully, next week, my son will be back. And we'll be back at full power as far as our videos go. Not sure where we're going to go. I've got a couple places in mind. Since it's been so long since we've really done a good hike. Plenty of other videos on our channel we'd love for you to check out. And we would love for you guys to subscribe. And show us some love and some support. And I'm just gonna bring the video to a close here, since we are so close to the end. What, see something, kiddo? Oh. This is kind of close to the area where we saw those bears earlier. But haven't seen anything since. So until next time, y'all stay safe and stay healthy. And keep your stick on the ice. Adios.
Today's adventure was merely my attempt to get out on a trail after such a long dry spell. At least it's a long dry spell for us. It may not have been the big adventure my son and I loved to take, but I was still in the woods and in another beautiful corner of the Great Smoky Mountains. And I was chasing more pieces of the region's historic past with my equally history-loving kiddo. So, all in all, another good day out on the trail. We wish you all health and happiness, and see you all out on the trail.